All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to episode 11 of this weekly Outlook series. For this week, we'll be going over, as always, the Forex Factory to start our weekly schedule and to plan our days that we're going to be trading. So for Monday, we have a bank holiday, a USD bank holiday. So that means that there's no trades being placed on Monday. And it's actually kind of good because we need to see further price action just to be confirmed on whether the directional bias for the week is going to be. On Tuesday, we have news at 8:30 New York local time. I will be trading from the 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. session during the morning session. On Wednesday, we have the 8:30 a.m. and then we have news at 2 p.m. New York local time. As you guys can see, we have FOMC meeting minutes. This is not the big FOMC that we're paying attention to. So the AM session can be traded the specific day, and the day before can also be traded, even though we have FOMC. The FOMC interest rate is the one that's big. The FOMC meeting minutes is just a regular red folder. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims at 8:30 New York local time, and then we have an orange folder at 10 a.m. Same rules apply here. I'll be waiting for this news to be released, and then trading from 9 a.m. on, looking for some sort of sequential SMT. On Friday, we have GEP, the price index release, a few of the red folders. I expect this day to be pretty good. A lot of volume on this day. On this day, I will still be looking for some sort of expansion after the week is here, or depending on whether the drawn liquidity has been reached. This could be a TGIF type of Friday, but either way, I expect some sort of movement to happen within the 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. window. And then we have no big earnings on the week, no Magnificent Seven. So I expect this week to be a full trading week. With that being said, let's get into the charts. All right, so here we are on the E-mini Nasdaq March 2026 contracts on the daily time frame. Last week I was saying that I wanted to see price move higher to target this C and evidently close above it to see if we can continue higher price action. Then I gave the second scenario where we could reject this and then come lower into a specific PD array on the 1 hour that I'll be going over. So for this specific week, for my opinion, on the daily time frame, we're a little bit out of sync compared to the other programs, where everything else is kind of pointing to a sell program on the intraday time frames on the 1 hour and lower and on the weekly. But for the daily, last week I had said this was the invalidation. But now since we came up and created this sequential SMT with YM, and then if you guys notice here, with this indicator that we have here, we can see that we have hidden SMT, which is body SMT in between ES and YM here at the highs. So if we go and look at ES, we can see that very clearly here that the bodies are lower on ES, whereas on NQ, we have a higher. And we even have a bullish candle here, whereas ES was a bearish candle, as you guys can see. So now that we have both of those SMTs stacked on the top of each other, along with the yearly SMT that we've had now, and the rejection from this, if we can get a daily close below this low here that we formed last week, being the previous weekly low, then I expect all programs to be into a sell program, and for these lows here to be engineer liquidity and to be the next targets very easily for this week. I expect the move lower to be quick. Now, we can go down into the 1 hour time frame just to be more exact on what points of interest I'll be looking at. All right, so here we are on the 1 hour time frame. As you can see, Monday opened up. We had SMT here between these lows. If you go back and check for yourself with ES and YM at the 9 a.m. time period, we had SMT here at these lows that causes expansion higher into this. Wednesday formed an SMT. Then we had a double SMT here that ended up causing this move lower. And then I had said that if we lose this IOFD here, that I would expect the buy program to be over. And as you guys can see, it came all the way back down exactly to this specific area here, and even found support in this specific area. And then we had an expansion higher from here. And if you notice, all assets took these lows, but then we had a pretty significant pullback. which I think is a pullback of 400 points. And what I want to point out is that without the hidden SMT that you see here, sequential hidden SMT of the bodies, you wouldn't have been able to catch this specific move higher. So that's just one thing to point out here. So now moving forward, I will be looking at these specific range here. I expect chop to happen until we either close below this area here, or if we close above this area to continue higher to seek more of a premium. I expect this SIBI to be the draw. But for now, I'm paying attention to this SIBI and then these candles wicks. So this here is called a hippo, credit to Hoppy. And this is a specific point of interest or an order block that he made himself. So all credits to him. So if you guys know what a hippo is, go ahead and you guys can go ahead and look that up. But it's basically these 4 candles here. Let me go ahead and point that out for you guys. Alrighty, so we have these consecutive 4 candles. This is 1, noted here. This candle here is 2. This candle here is 3. And this is candle number 4. So the candles between the second and third of this sequence is considered a hippo. So you can pay attention to this SIBI and this hippo, which gives you this full range here. And as you can notice, price has rejected it. So in my opinion, until we close above this specific point of interest, I expect lower price action and I expect this invalidation to get taken, which is why I'm going to be waiting for Monday to give me more data on what to expect for the week. But more than likely, I expect further price action lower. So, and if this, in my opinion, does close lower on the daily time frame, then everything is going to be pointing lower, and it's just going to be open, high, low for the rest of February and maybe even into March. So that's my game plan for the week. And last thing I want to say before ending the video is credit today again for coming out for quarterly theory and the sequential SMT. And shout out to Hoppy for coming out with everything and all the books that he's done as far as Goldbach goes. And if you guys haven't noticed by now, I do pay attention to a lot of things that these individuals say. I think everyone should investigate what exactly they're saying. And I'm here to make what they teach as easy as I possibly can without having any of the complicated stuff and everything on the charts. And that's essentially what I'm trying to do here. Make something extremely complicated very easy.